Morning, everyone. Thanks for stopping by for this meeting. Happy New Year. So, we're recording this meeting and it will be on the blog probably by the end of the day tomorrow for anybody who wants to share it with your team or look at it later. So we don't really have we have a few things to discuss today, and then, of course, we're going to give the floor to you guys. The first thing that I want to talk about is something that actually came from a program manager. Um, and we just are throwing it out there to you guys to see what you think, if you think it would be useful, and other ideas. It's basically it was a request for a report that contains referral information, screen information, enrolled cases, and total case weight per FSS. It was suggested that having all this information in one place would eliminate having to run too many reports or checking on various tabs before assigning new cases or referrals. So what does everybody think?
I think it would be helpful and definitely more efficient.
Great, great. That's actually what our team thought too, but we just wanted to throw it out to the masses to see if, because originally we were like, oh, would it be better for the dashboard or a report? But the program manager who suggested this said it would be better for in a report because even contract managers could run this report and see what's going on with it. So, all right. Anybody else have any comments on that? I'm not making any promises on when this final product will be available, but I just want to throw it out that it's coming soon, probably. Okay. And that's I just have a few reminders out there, and some of these are based on recent tickets or conversations that we've had with people who use. Oh, thanks, Joe. Um, Joe says, I'm just going back to the other issue. Joe says it would be helpful. Right now, it's navigating between FRS Tickler, program caseload summary, and the referral dashboard. So, yeah, so that's what we're trying to avoid because, if we can get information in one place that would help program managers and supervisors, that's really what we're aiming to do. Thanks for your feedback. So, like I said, I just have a few reminders. And they're based on like questions and conversations we've had recently. So the first reminder I have, and I'm just going to share my screen. If you want to print case notes, see here. There is a report on the MIS, and it's under the list category, and it is the case note report. I'm on the test site, so I don't really have any case notes for this report, but I can just maybe go back a little bit. But if you want to print all your case notes, you can run this report for your entire program by supervisor, by FSS, or by PC1 ID, and it can, will print out all of your case notes. Okay. Stop my share. Just another reminder that only supervisors and program managers can request a new MIS account or changes to the permission levels, and no one can request this to be done for themselves. You need another person. If you are a program manager or supervisor, you need another supervisor or program manager to give us a ticket to make changes on your account. And speaking of tickets, when sending a ticket, please provide all the essential information that concerns your question or request, case numbers, error or validation messages, report names, and the report timeframes that you ran the reports for are just examples of what we need to get you to help you quickly and efficiently. And if we need other information after that, or if we have other questions, we'll certainly get back to you, but this preliminary information is vital for us to check out stuff. And the last thing that I have is I just want to invite you once more to check out the instructional videos for the MIS. And they are located on most pages of the MIS and also on the blog. And you can I'm going to share my screen once more. Um, you can also just get easy access to the training resources right here on the MIS and a list of all of the videos. Things are changing all the time in the MIS, so we're having to update videos with changes. So you'll see like a revised date next to the uh, name of the video. And so that will let you know that it's the most up-to-date information that we have in the video, but especially if you have a question on a form or if something's not working the way you think it should, maybe take a look at the video and or ask your staff to take a look at the video. And most times the answer will be there. We of course want to help you with anything that we can. We're just if you we know that we're not always available for questions. So this is like when we're not available, these videos are. So and that's all I have. So I'm just going to turn the floor over to you guys. What do you want to talk about?
Hi. I have a suggestion based on an issue that we've had, or I guess a challenge that some of our newer home visitors have had with the lead assessment. We've had to kind of go over what the lead assessment is on the follow-up form versus like the lead screening that the child does in the doctor's office, and kind of how the performance target um, relates to the assessment that's on the follow-up form. I was thinking that it could be more clear if we called it like the lead risk assessment, because we're assessing, whether there's a risk for lead exposure. I think it might be a little bit more clear that it comes from kind of the risk assessment questions on the follow-up form, as opposed to whether they had the blood screening, the test at the doctor's office.
That sounds like a really good idea. I don't know if we need to get OCFS approval about that. Ben, do you have any comments or ideas about that?
My guess is we'll have to get approval from OCFS because, uh, like you're saying, Emily, it is a little ambiguous as to whether it means the risk assessment, which I believe you're correct. It is the risk rather than actual uh, clinical test on the child themselves.
Yeah, I
But
wasn't sure if this is like an MIS kind of thing or
yeah,
programmatic, kind of encompasses everything. So I throw it out there.
yeah, and we'll bring it up to OCFS. I have a feeling they're going to say, "Oh yeah, that's fine," but
Yeah.
we'll check with them and let you know.
And Christy Fernandez agrees. She's had to have that same discussion with her team. But just for the record, Emily, really nothing on the MIS is us. We get everything from OCFS. So, pretty much we have anything that changes on the MIS, we have to get approval from them. So, anyway, so yeah, so we can reach out to OCFS, or I can even just send a quick email to Corinne and ask her what she thinks too. But thank you for that suggestion.
And just to check, Emily, would lead risk assessment, just adding risk, be enough, or would you like some other wording?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. But if anyone else has other suggestions, that'll be good.
Okay.
I did want to mention, since nobody's bringing up any questions right now, The performance targets reports were recently updated so that they all properly handle CWP cases. For the most part, the handling is done by checking the child's date of birth versus the the performance target itself. So, for example, if it says, you need 2 ASQs done by the time the child is 1 year old, but you have a CWP case that came in after the child was 1 year old, that child isn't required for that standard, that kind of thing. Uh, all of the updated definitions are in the documentation for the performance target reports and in the cohort definitions on the report itself. Um, but other than that, the only other change there was previously, prior to this update, CWP cases were automatically excluded from the report when you ran it, unless you used the CWP case filter. That's no longer the case. Now, just like all the other reports, all cases are included unless you specifically exclude them via a case filter. So, for example, if you only wanted to see performance targets for CWP cases, you would run it with the CWP case filter set to yes. If you wanted to exclude CWP cases, run it with the CWP case filter set to no.
Thanks, Ben.
And just following up with that, are there any other reports that we would be running that would also apply to, or is that just specific to a performance target when we're running that report? Like, does that apply to any other reports or just that one?
I believe all the other reports have been updated to handle CWP where it's relevant. Like, for example, the 6-3 report for the Cheers check-ins, that does the same kind of filtering based on the child's birth date. For example, if you had a child come in at 2 years old, they aren't required to have any Cheers check-ins for the first 2 years. They come in at over a year old, first year, that kind of thing.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
No problem. Oh, and one other thing for New York only, we did add a performance indicators dashboard to the MIS. This is hopefully going to replace a Tableau dashboard that we used to use. It was an external thing. You had to have a separate sign-in, that kind of thing. Now it should be fully integrated into the MIS, so you can see a history of your performance indicators and compared to New York State average. It's in the settings. Depending on your role, it will be under central admin or it will be under program management. Only supervisors and above can see the link for now.
Can you actually show us that? Can you do us like show us on the screen now where that would be and how we could access that? Is that possible?
Sure. Let me just get to the test site here
Thanks.
and share this. Oops. My Zoom's in the way. Okay. So under settings, I'm logged in as a CA. If you're logged in as a supervisor, you'll see the link in another section here. But basically, you're looking for performance indicator dashboard. And when you click on that, you'll see your programs versus the New York's performance for each performance indicator and the total score. Since I'm logged in as CA, I just have all New York State. When you log in as a program level role, you'll just be locked to your own program. And you can select specific cycles going back a ways.
I have one other question. Can it show you, because I honestly just haven't looked at this report. Can it show you how you're doing with your indicators as you go along? No.
Unfortunately not, no. And the reason why is because we pull indicator information from so many different places and the calculations are so incredibly complicated. There's no possible way it would be able to run in real time.
Okay. Thank you so much.
No problem.
Right. I have a question. Is there any way that that you guys can, the link to be direct to, TC immunizations the same way that we would be, directing, prenatal, direct to PC1 medical record to, document prenatal visits for prenatal families?
Yeah, that was brought up during our lunch and learn meeting, and we are looking into it. Um, it isn't going to be happening at the same time as the new prenatal question, but it's approved by OCFS. We just have to get around to it through the other items in our list.
Okay, thank you.
I have a question. When a family is ready to switch prenatally from whichever way it goes, 1 to 2 or 2 to 1, it pops up and says that they're due to be switched levels, but we still have to do a change form to make that happen. Why doesn't that happen automatically if it's already flagging that it needs to happen? Why doesn't it happen automatically like it does when you put in the TC Med?
Uh, as far as I know, it's a requirement of HFA and New York policy that there has to be a level change form done by the program for the level to change, except for that automatic level one when the child's born. So we're not authorized to automatically do it.
Anything from anybody else about anything regarding the MIS? I can share that the next Healthy Families discussion meeting will be on a Wednesday. It is Wednesday, February 26th at 1 p.m. And I'll be sending out an invite with the Zoom information as the date gets closer. But it's also all of the information is also on the homepage of our blog. If you ever like don't have your email handy or just want to see where and when it is. Okay. Oh,
I
Emily.
wanted to just add one thing. I was looking at the policy about that same question about moving from level 2P to 1P. And the policy says that the level change forms are not required for moving families to level COTO or from level 2P to 1P or 1P to 1 because they're not based on family progress. So I wonder if it's something that we can kind of bring back to CA to look at, whether it's something that could be done because the policy, like the last item in the HFNY policy guidelines has that.
Did it say 2P to 1P or just 1P to 1?
Both level 2P to
Both.
1P
Okay.
and 1P to 1.
Okay. Yeah. So maybe it was just outdated guidance we had.
And maybe the policy committee has to talk about it too. So,
Right. And I'm pretty sure in the best practice standards, there's no form that's required to have like the family signed or the staff signed, but yeah, but that's what the policy says.
Would your FSSs find it not concerning, but surprising if it automatically changed without them knowing?
Possibly.
Because I could see that because the case weight does change, the visit frequency does change,
Right.
doubles. I guess that would be my only concern.
Yeah,
And
no,
we'll
that
bring
makes
that up.
sense.
But even with that happening, that's just a matter of, that may just be a matter of just training, sharing with the staff that this is automatically going to happen. So they could look, they'll get used to seeing it after a while because they've just been aware of it.
That makes sense. We'll bring it up to CA
Yeah, and the policy.
and hopefully we'll get a response fairly soon.
Yep. Anything else? You guys have given us a lot of food for thought here. It's great. Well, alrighty. I guess if no one else has anything else, I'll end the meeting now and you guys have an extra half hour to your day. So everybody stay warm and take care and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.